Hey guys, this is Erin Ashley Simon.
This is Brandon Killabh.
Welcome to another episode of Grassroots Podcast. I know it's been a while. We haven't had a guest. I know you guys have been enjoying our opinions and thoughts and
yelling
even
at us
album
and
reviews.
shit.
Yeah, yelling at us and shit because you don't like what we said, but it's cool. It's all right. But today we have a special guest here.
Special guest. We've been trying to get this woman on for quite some time.
She was having too much fun in L.A. She's like, fuck New York.
She came in popping her collar. She's like, listen, guys, just fuck your lives over here. Just come back and just come and move to L.A. I'm telling you. I'm like, look at that.
I'm living my best life.
Yeah, she hit me with that shit. If another person hit me with this, I'm living my best life shit. If you don't get the fuck out of here, man. God damn. Well, introduce yourself. We have a thing here where we like our guests to feel nice and comfortable. We don't introduce you. You introduce yourself.
Okay, so I'm Lyric Perez, and I am a producer extraordinaire. I'm just joking. I just made that up.
I was about to say, wait.
Nice title, though.
I didn't read that in your bio.
And yeah, I've been working in entertainment, television, film for about 10 years now, and I love hip hop.
Yes, hip hop head.
That's my intro.
This is a nice intro.
Yeah.
But she's being humble about it.
Am I?
Yeah.
I think
Not
being
everybody
little.
can be Nicki Minaj, you know.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Yo, she already shooting.
I'm not about that life.
That's definitely what we're gonna get into here today, especially if you're keeping up with that shit. But first, we wanted to kind of bring people up to speed. A lot of people don't know you're really accomplished behind the scenes person that we don't really feel gets enough credit as you should, especially in the media industry. So we wanted to talk more about that, a little bit of your journey, and then we want to get a little muddy. We want to get into these streets.
That's awesome. So good.
Where was your original start? That's what I want to know, because I don't know.
Okay, so I knew very well that I wanted to work in entertainment like my whole life. I grew up singing, and I wanted to be a singer, and then I realized I sounded a little bit like Jennifer Lopez, so I said, I'm going to 86 that. And then I wanted to work in the music industry, went to SUNY Purchase College.
Okay.
I'm also a high school dropout, so I
Hey.
skipped that. And then I graduated like on time. I started a year late, graduated in 3 years, and did arts management. So I got to take like my own classes. So I took songwriting, I took acting, I took poetry writing because I'm a poet as well. I actually have a book too. Ow, I just did my book. Isn't that great?
Plug.
Plugs. We like plugs.
I forgot all of it. I don't promote it ever really.
But did you bring us a copy though?
No, I didn't, but I'll send you one.
Oh,
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All right.
It's called Love Poems I've Always Wanted to Hide.
that's industry talk. When they say, I'll send it to you.
That's that LA talk.
That's the LA talk. Just be aware, people. You got to know it when it happens. No, rock out. Go ahead.
I promise I'll send you one.
Okay.
And I basically interned at Bad Boy after graduating from college, and I worked in the songwriting department, in the publishing department. And I wanted to be a songwriter. I said, you know what? I don't want to be like in the scene anymore. I want to be behind the scenes. I don't want to be a celebrity. I don't want to be famous. And then there was a lot of sexual harassment in the music industry. And I was just like, well, let me just go ahead and figure something else out. And so I was looking for production jobs. Why? I don't know. I just that was just what my spirit said. So I found this ad on Craigslist, which was sponsored by the mayor's office here in New York of film, theater, and broadcasting. And they have a production assistant training program. So it's like a 1 month rigorous program where you defeat out like 100 people that come there for an open house, and then you have a personal interview if they do choose you, and then you learn walkie lingo and how to be the best production assistant ever. And a lot of people don't make it in this industry because it's freelance and it's not easy. And as a PA, when you're young, you hear, oh, $150 a day. Holy shit. Like, that's, but then you're working 12, 14, 17 hours a day and you're doing the most. And then you realize, oh, this shit is real gritty.
It's real.
Yeah.
And then I think, so after being a PA for like about 2 years, I started coordinating, production managing. Then I was like, I don't want to babysit people. I don't want to manage productions. I want to be the creative person. So that was fulfilling to me. And I started producing and associate producing for shows like Mob Wives and What Not to Wear, and all these really great shows, house hunting shows, Caribbean Life for HGTV, all of these things. And I had such a well-versed background. I even worked on Kid Cudi's music video, Make Her Say.
Oh, shit.
In like 2009.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
And that was my first and last music video because my call time was 4 a.m. and I left at 8 p.m. And I was like, never again. And I didn't make good money on that. And after that, it just put a bad taste in my mouth. So I was like, you know what? I'm good. That was fun, but I'm good. And then Complex happened. In about, I think it was 2016, I received an email after I saw a post about how they were hiring like real producers and all of these things. And I was like, oh my God, this is cool. This is great. Let me just submit my information. And then I got a call back and I had an interview and the interview went really well. And they wanted to know what my rate was. And I told them what my rate was. And then it was crickets. And this was October of 2016. And then December 2016, I got an email saying, hey, Lyric, we're still looking for producers. Can you remind me what your rate is again? And I told them, and it was crickets. And then February comes around, and I get another, and then, a friend calls me. And he's like, hey, Lyric, do you know any line producers? Line producers, by the way, for all of you who are listening, are the person who is in charge of the budget. So they're the ones that, line producer. They're in the Excel sheets. They're, fixing the money around. I obviously was not that. So I was like, I'm not really sure. But it's, here's what I've been up to. And I talked to Complex. He's like, Complex? I work at Complex. I was like, get out of here. So he forwarded my resume around. And one woman called me back. And she loved me over the phone. And she said, I want you to come in and meet this guy. And he was like the head of video. And I was like, well, actually, I met him and he liked me, but I think it's my rate. And she was like, all right, well, I'm going to fight for you because I know that I know what you're doing. And I think you would be great for the Joe Budden morning show. That's what they called it at the time, the Joe Budden morning show. And I was like, yeah, that sounds dope. I would love to do that. Yeah. And I was super excited about it because now here's a way I can get back into music and doing, so it kind of came full circle even now that I'm at Revolt.
I know.
Because that's really like I started at Bad Boy and now I'm here.
Yeah.
Again, Puff has no idea, but I just think that's
that's dope,
magical.
Though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I worked at Complex and Joe came in with Sin for my first day, right? It's a Thursday. I have this beautiful like Banana Republic blouse. I'm trying to look all like professional. It's my, it's my new persona. I don't have to wear sneakers and run around everywhere. And then Joe comes in, and Joe has this kind of energy, if you don't know him, where he's just like a little intimidating, and a lot of people are afraid of him. I'm pretty brave. I wasn't afraid. I was happy to be there. And he was like, well, where's the other producer that you told me that was going to be working on this? And, da, 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 da. And then this gentleman was like, well, I'll have Lyric introduce herself. So I introduced myself, and I was like, I listened to your podcast, and I think it's great, and I can't wait to work with you. And all of a sudden, like, his guard was down, and it was cool. It was peace. And then him and I just became, like, in sync.
Yeah.
Like, any creative idea, like, that same meeting, he shut someone else down, and he was like, I like that idea. When I gave him my idea, I like that idea. Let's do that, and him and I just like hit it off the whole time. Yeah. So that was like, I guess obviously I'm here now. People who are excited about music and are excited about the content that we have done together. It's something that I've been very low key all my career, and now it's something that is inspirational. And
it's blossoming.
Yeah.
It's really dope. But for those who don't know exactly what a producer or a showrunner do, can you break that down for them?
Oh yeah, okay. So just a little bit more. Like I've not only coordinated and produced and production managed, but I've also cast, and that's something that is really good for you because you learn how to develop shows. And so like you're literally thinking, like VH1 might want a show that's kind of like, this is what we want. Where we want like successful, good-looking people, right? Because that's the gimmick for everything, right?
You're in the right spot.
But we want them to be athletic, and we want them to be, whatever. So you'll come up with, and then you have to cast in 3 cities. Let's look for people in 3 cities. So it's your job to scout these people and to figure out who's the most interesting, and what jobs do they have, and all of these. So you get the creative gene, and that helped me a lot with where I am now because I know how to pitch a show. I know how to write a treatment. I know how to write a sample script. I know how to put a deck together. And being a showrunner for the first time in a setting like this, where it's not only digital, but it's linear, it's television too. It's a great feeling and it's a great experience. And part of our job is to come up with what we want the show to look like, what the format is, what is the show? Like, tell us what the show is. And you have to come up with all of those things. You have to know who to hire. You have to know how to hire, which I've also done that, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to find writers, all of these different things that you really have to be a part of. There's a lot resting on your shoulders, but there's also a lot of cooks in the kitchen. So as an executive producer, you're never the only executive producer. There's other executive producers, but you just hope that everybody kind of trusts each other to make the right decision. It's a collaborative thing.
Yeah.
And so that's a part of my job. I'm also directing too. I've been directing. I directed Everyday Struggle, which wasn't too heavy. I didn't have to move around a lot. But directing is also something you need to know cameras. You need to know frame rates. You need to know how you want something to look, what equipment you want to use to achieve that look, and be able to know how to talk to people. I think as a producer, and there's all different kinds of producers, there's all different styles of content, right? You have docuseries, you have documentaries, you have all of these things, and then you have actors. So there's a whole different kind of flow with scripted versus non-scripted. We call it nonfiction television versus scripted television, and that's like the industry term for it. And you just like, you have to learn how to talk to people. So if I'm talking to somebody who has never done this before, it's my job. It's kind of like psychology and sociology. And like, how can I get you to trust me and answer my questions, right? I worked on Ink Master, which is a competition show where they do tattoos. One of my favorite, by the way, because it's all art, it's all creative. And you have these people, and you're literally, as a field producer, you're assigned to like 10 artists. So your job is to listen to all of their conversations on the floor, to see what's going on. You let them know in the control room. The director lets the camera guys know, and then you see the camera guy run to that section and like see what's going on. Like that's a little inside scoop of how that's done. But you also have people that they can't have their phone all day. They're mad. They might not want to do a scene. Fuck this. I'm out of here. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And it's your job to really try to help and change that. And then it's a lot of problem solving. And it's important in any job, but especially television, because there's so much pressure, there's so much money, that it's okay if something fails, and usually it always does. There's always something that goes awry. And it's always hurry up and wait, and it's always, holy shit, I can't believe this happened, but it always ends up being okay. Like there's a saying that, relax, it's only TV. You know what I mean? So as a producer, you just have to be very well-rounded. You have to be creative, and you have to know how to talk to people.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's like you're almost like a creative liaison, but just in different realms when you think about it. Like you're really... It's like your show. You have to at least embrace it as if it's your show in order for it to be successful. And then getting a whole bunch of people, in one line to be able to have one creative goal and one creative idea and concept. That sounds like a challenge in itself when you're dealing it on a day-to-day basis, and then dealing with egos and shit like that.
Yeah. So my nephew asked, now that I'm visiting, I'm hanging out with my nephew who's 11 years old. He's a gamer. He's editing his own shit. It's impressive. And he told me, is it difficult? Is it difficult to do this? Is it hard? And I was like, I think the hard part is thinking that you can't do something. That's the hard part. Yeah. It's like when you never drove before, that shit is scary. It's like, will I ever drive? I can murder myself and other people. Like, and then you start driving, and now the shit is like second nature to you. You know where to look, and it's like a autopilot thing almost. And that's how, like, the thing about entertainment is that it can be extremely intimidating when you have these people who are competitive. This happens sometimes. You have people who have their noses up high at you, and they want to see you fail. And this is politics. This is companies, they do this. And you don't stay with those companies, and you move the fuck on, and you find better projects, and you find better people to work with, and you find pockets of really good people who want to help you win. And they say, do this, do it. And if there's a mistake or two or three or four, they'll let you know. All you need to see, everything is taught, right? Yeah. When you go to school, anything that we do, we're taught how to do it, right? Definitely. So if you know that, and you hone in on that, and you remember that, and you tell yourself the opposite of what you're fearing about, it's like what you're afraid of, you can say, I can do this, I will do this, and then all of a sudden you're a fucking pro. Yeah. It's like practice makes the master, right? Yeah. Practice makes the master. So just believe you can do it. And I told my nephew, I was like, That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you say that because I feel like when you work in entertainment, not even just entertainment, but like media or music, you're always put in a position where you may not know how to do something, but you have to figure it out. I know Brandon has been in that. I've been in that many times, but it kind of goes back to what you said. Like, your fear is usually the initial part, but when you actually do it, you're like, oh, it's not that bad. But talking about experience, we got to go everyday struggle. We got to go into that. We got to go into that one.
I need the juice from another angle.
I was like, oh, we going to skate right past this. I don't even got to talk about it.
No.
Lyric, you're better than that. Come on. We're definitely talking.
Absolutely not.
We're definitely talking about this shit.
So
We
funny.
do want to get your perspective. As fans of the show, first off, beautiful job. I think in that era, I think there was a void that was filled with just raw
Unfiltered.
hip hop discussions. Beautiful. And then it went awry. It went left. It went left to leave us fans sobbing and trying to figure out what happened.
I was one of those people.
Yeah?
Absolutely. I knew it was over when he was. Obviously, it's not over, right? But for what
It's
it
over.
was becoming, for what it was becoming, that was over, and that could have been something that was amazing. Like the chemistry that was built, the hardships that we went through together as a family, and what it could have grown into. It's like all the ideas that I had that I wanted to do. It was too much of a struggle. Like when I tell you everyday struggle, I cannot tell you how much I would say, like, we need to sage this bitch. Everyday struggle, literally. Like if it is an everyday struggle, it was, in the beginning it was very stressful, and then we kind of got into a groove, and I wanted to do more. There's, long story short, you're God damn it. Sorry. I'm trying to be PC.
Yeah.
We know.
And not that I really want to, but it's important.
You have to.
Because put it like this: when a company is limited, when a company is limited with certain things, or when problems with people in the company affect the relationships with the talent, things become difficult, and it becomes a detriment. And Joe, what I'm inspired by with Joe a lot, and I never got to tell him this, and I kind of wanted to tell him this yesterday, is that he never cared to bend for anybody. He's a very loyal, morale person. Like, he's a fucking sweetheart, and he means well. He might tell you suck my dick if he's mad or whatever, and maybe a little insensitive at times, but I
wouldn't say way more than a little, like, whatever.
He was texting me like, Lyric, like, I don't care if you're in LA, you need to be doing my show. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, all right. Like, it ended up working that way. I had other opportunities going on, but back to everyday struggle, right? Yeah. I think that when a company, because you have to understand that Complex is not a production company. It's not a network. And I thought that that's what they were trying to do. And then
it looked like that.
Yeah. Right. I thought because Verizon and Hearst bought them. So they needed people like me to come in with the know-how and like, but there's a division between editorial and video and production and keeping the same kind of thing. And it's if you can't grow as a group or as a team within the business, then it falls apart. Like, like you can't say, I want to put a brick and I need to put cement between the brick. And somebody's like, nah, we going to use crazy glue, yo. Yeah. Like, then my shit's going to fall apart. Yeah. And only one thing is going to stay strong. And then I'm just going to leave the project and then go ahead and paint and not paint, but like build bricks and cement somewhere else and build a home. And unfortunately, that happens a lot in entertainment, right? You might not have the same creative ideas, or there might be politics where people want to destroy you in a sense and take away your job from you and put you over there. And now not only is Joe gone, but now it's not the same for me. And what am I even doing here anymore? Yeah. And
well, that's the one thing. That one fixture, that one fixture leaves. And not just saying he made the show, but I think the dynamic of that show.
It was a perfect dynamic.
It was perfect. to me. It was just organic, raw. Like you saw them from the start of, you know, blow ups between the Migos, then them getting a gel, then maybe you see some feuds here and there, and then you see them start to kind of get into this groove where they're like, yo, they're producing some fucking amazing content, and then it's gone. So I often wondered what a lot of people that were on that project were still doing. I mean, I know that there was a whole big shake up there, and I know a lot of people left, but I always wondered, like, people like you or just all of the other people that really were the intricate fixtures in it, like, you know, do you lose sleep at night when you think about that? Like, to see something blossom so quickly and then just deplete, like.
You gotta understand the power of detachment and moving on is so real. Mm-hmm. And I was like, when he was renegotiating, I was like, how's it going? How's it going? I kept checking in. How's it going? How's it going? And I never really knew it was, because that wasn't my department. I'm not involved with numbers. I'm not involved with any of that stuff. So he was like, nah, I think it's a wrap. And I think they were still trying to make it work, but it just didn't. And it was meant to be. Yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, it's dope that at least we got that. Yeah. I say the shit all the time. I didn't even know how amazing Everyday Struggle was going to be until it started happening. Yeah. Right? And like the chemistry started unfolding, and Joe was comfortable, and then Academics was more comfortable with Joe. And then, you know, we got into this groove, and when I knew it was about to be a wrap, and I still had hope, I internalized it as, okay, this is the universe saying, you wanted to go to LA for a while. This is your opportunity to do that. As a freelancer, you work from show to show. No one stays on Full House forever. Like, you do what you do, and then you move on, and you get other gigs, and you get other jobs. And like, that's the part of evolution, and that's the part of making something different and shaking things up, is that nothing lasts forever. Yeah. And I understood that, and that's why I have something that I like personally like want to say, like, you know, where there was obviously a feud between Complex and Joe, right? It was public, right? Yeah. Complex was very cool about it in the public eye. They were like, it's okay, we wish you the best. Yeah. You know, of course we do. We wish you the best, even though you talk shit about us. But it's like, you know, obviously something was going on. Things were always weird. Like, you had an episode for 27 minutes. And everybody's like, why do we have an episode for 27 minutes? Because Joe wasn't with it. Yeah. You know, obviously he wasn't with it. And he made that very clear. And so, again, there's things that go on if corporate and creative, you know, don't see eye to eye. You got to let it go. Whatever. Like, it doesn't even fucking matter. It doesn't have to be personal. If I can't afford you because you want to be up here, then all right, I'm going to have to let you go. I don't need to be mad at you about that. Yeah. Go ahead and prosper, butterfly. Like, have a ball. And that's what going back to when I said I appreciate this about Joe, is like, there was no fucking fear. Nah, not at all. None. Mind you, he has a mansion. Yeah. He has a wife, a girlfriend with a baby. And all of these things, and mouths, and 2 dogs, and, you know, like, he's this amazing person who just was like, I don't care, I'm not gonna bend because you tell me this is who I am, or this is what I'm worth, or I can't do this, and we can't, you know, like, at one point, like, you can think, okay, ego or whatever, but no, it's just he wanted something different and something more and something better. And I respect it as a professional. I didn't take that personal. I don't care. Like, go ahead, do that. I'm gonna miss you, and it's been a blast. But I guess I'm gonna have to go to LA now and like live the life that I'm supposed to live. So let me figure some shit out about what I can do over there, and also be fearless, and also say I don't need a fucking steady check, and like go, because I think Complex was like the first time that I was like, oh shit, it feels like a full-time job. Like I get a steady paycheck, which is always nice because I don't have to worry about paying my rent. And as a freelance, as a creative, you're consistently making content here, making content there, doing whatever, getting these checks, waiting for these motherfucking checks, you know, like all different kinds of things that can make you afraid. But I am thriving now. And I moved at the end, I left Complex the tail end of March, moved to LA April 3rd. What are we? August? August. I have 2 jobs and I have time to myself. and I'm
dope.
getting paid the most that I've ever been paid before.
Yeah, that's dope.
So you got to believe in yourself,
Yeah.
and you have to know when it's time to say goodbye and call it a wrap. Unless you
Yeah.
can figure out a creative way to make this money together and keep somebody and become better. And like, how can I become a production company, or how can I become a network and not be the same kind of shit? But when you have egos and people want to think that they're better than everybody and fight and all this shit, you're gonna have to leave the bricks that you cemented, and you're gonna have to move on.
Yeah, I think
Talk that shit.
I really felt that though.
Me too.
And
I agree.
obviously we both know Joe. Well, everyone in here now knows him. But just speaking from the outside perspective, that was one of the things where I look at it like people didn't really look at it where it was an ego thing. Before, people would give him that stigmatism, like, yo, he's just a fucking asshole. This was the one time where people were like, oh no, we rolling with Joe. Like you could see that something was off.
Yeah.
And I think that just Complex handled it bad, and they kind of showed their cards to the public, thinking they were going to be PC, when he was just the wrong person to kind of play that game with, where he was like, all right, y'all not going to do that. Y'all not going to make it seem like I'm the disgruntled employee, so I'll air the whole shit out. And I think it worked in his favor.
Yeah, and I mean that also is a testament to people like you who are behind the scenes that like created such a great experience and environment. Like, of course, the talent and the hosts are the ones that drive it, but it's really the magic happens in the editing process, the topics, like everything like that, like a cohesive teamwork. And it was really something special. Like we were watching it, but we were like, yo, this could be like the really next big thing. But you know what? Things happen. And I always say things happen for a reason. But I'm always curious. Now, we saw it from like a viewer standpoint. From a producer and like behind the scenes standpoint, how did you guys handle the Migos situation?
Oh my God. Can I fucking tell you this story?
Yes, please tell us.
Please.
We're all really
From
interested.
My perspective, my point POV. Okay, so BET. I remember writing a little pitch to. We had like an inner person at Complex that helped us get that, because they knew somebody that was close to them at BET. So I made a little pitch sheet, little one sheet. We thought it'd be dope. We wanted them to like move around and like do things, but we also had to keep in mind that they talk shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, Joe worked really hard and fought me to the death about getting security, and I was trying to get that for him and all of these things. So we finally got security because, you know, credentials are tight, space is limited. We literally, like, God bless BT and the People's Heart, like, gave us, like, two stages instead of just one. So, like, we had 8 feet wide. Instead of like 4 feet wide, we had 8 feet wide, but it was still the same length here. Mind you, we're in a tent, okay? Mind you, there's a bunch of electrical wires behind me and a bunch of Kino flows to light everything. So, which means that if something were to go awry, that whole shit would go aflames and it would be really bad.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I had like no space. I'm trying to like set up my 3 cameras. How can I do this? I put the camera literally up against the tent because to get my wide shot, because I had no way to do it. So I kind of, you know, guerrilla style that.
Yeah.
And then we actually had 3 extra stools for when the Migos comes. And we know that Joe is very, very, very particular about who he interviews, and he wants to make sure it's a good interview. So he'll watch the interviews. Like he researches his shit to a T. And so he's like, I don't want to interview this person. I don't want to interview that person. Why are we interviewing this person? And like, so I cannot take all the credit for all the creativity. Like, we all worked as a team and like was on group chat, you know, group text and stuff, and trying to figure out, is this okay? Do we think this is cool? What about this? Like, this is why this would be a good idea.
Yeah.
So we finally got Migos, even though he kind of didn't really want them. And mind you, Lil Yachty was like our first interview ever at Everyday Struggle. And it was still the beginning stages. So Joe was like, you know, like his temperature was a little different. And then he kind of got into the groove. So, but we didn't have a problem with Yachty. Like, Yachty was fine. He left. He was happy. He was like, yeah, you know, Joe was like, I'm not trying to like hate you. Or I'm not mad at you. I just want you to understand. And he was like, yeah, cool. And he handled it really well. Yeah. You know, he's calm, right? He's from the good side of the streets, obviously. And so after that, I guess because Migos is friends with him, there was that tension because the social cut that we put out, obviously, was that great piece.
Yeah.
Like, I had to put that out. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna not.
that was a good.
Cut it from here.
You did your job. Yeah, you did your job.
And, like, put it out because it's funny.
Yeah.
And so, but then it's like you relive that moment of now you're embarrassed all over again and all of the shit. So it's just a little awkward after that. And now, so when the Migos came, and Joe's explained the behind the scenes stuff, but this was why. It was about Yachty, right?
Yeah.
So when the Migos came, there was one of them didn't give him dap. I forget which one it was. He didn't give him dap, and Joe was already like, all right, here the fuck we go.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have no problem with Yachty. It's not that serious, but fine. And Joe's very big on fucking disrespect, obviously.
Well, yeah.
So we all sat down. So I'm over here. This is what I'm doing. This is my job here. I'm literally clapping, which is, for all the folks that don't know at home, it's when you take the clapper and you clap, so that way the editors know.
Take one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The take two, the take one. So, and I'm literally taking set photos, listening on a headset to what they're saying, rapping talent so other talent could come, because the red carpet don't stop. Once that person goes, this a wrap. Bye. And I'm like handing people microphones and putting the stools, and so I'm doing all of these things, and all that happens, which I already knew was gonna be bad once I saw Joe's face. Was Ak all the way at the very end, Tail, who's the one that he gave him the interview, right?
Yeah.
And Ak is all the way at the end, and it is loud there. I can hear crystal clear because I have headphones on. Ak keeps saying, "What'd you say? So what'd you say?" Mind you, I'm trying to wrap them so we can get the last tail bit of people.
Gotcha.
Right? And Joe is very, very professional. He knows how to do this. This is Academic's first time.
Yeah.
You know? And that's something that we all kind of talked about on the side. Like, okay, I understand this, but it'll be fine. It'll be great. So Joe took a lot of the lead on a lot of stuff that day, and except for that. And he was like, go ahead, Ak, it's you. Close them out. Do what you got to do. And then instead of closing out, Academics wanted to ask another question. And it was, and not only is it fucking Tension City, but he asked the great question of, yo, people were saying that you was left off Bad and Bougie. You said, was you left off Bad and Bougie? And he goes, who said I was left off Bad and Bougie? And he goes, what'd you say? And so, and as many times, that was not edited to look like, he said that shit that many times. And all I could think about was like, fuck, how am I gonna cut this? That's all. That was my initial thought. Like, how am I gonna cut this? Oh my God, I definitely want to have this in there. And then the shit just got worse. And then Joe puts down the microphone. He's like, okay, but we gotta wrap it up though. And because I'm like, you know, and after that they're gonna wrap it up then. They're not even looking to wrap it up then. And then I'm like, okay. So, all right, you're gonna wrap it the fuck up. So I'm looking at Ak, and then I see Joe just get up and walk towards me. Remember, there's not a lot of fucking feet here. There's no space. Like, I have no space, at all. He walks towards me. I'm like, fuck. Drops the mic, all this shit. I'm like, okay. Now I see them all kind of get up. One of them was mad late, like didn't even know what was going on, wasn't even paying attention. He's probably thinking about what he's going to do later. They all get up. And then I'm like, all right, what the fuck is going to happen? And then they start walking in, but obviously they don't want to put hands on him because it's legal shit. So all the other entourage people, yo, got a problem. It's like Jerry Springer. I'm at the very tail end stopping somebody from putting hands on Joe, even though he wasn't really gonna touch him. He like jerked that, like my hand is on him, but he goes like this, but he can't. Your arm can't reach him from there. You're just doing that.
It's the fake out.
Being extra, you know. And then my mom is like, why are you trying to stop a fight? Yada yada. I'm like, listen. First of all, I'm from New York. 2, you ain't gonna fuck my people up in front of me. 3, I have to save everybody in my set and what's going on and what's gonna happen, and you know, like. And so at the end of the day, obviously that was our last interview.
Yeah.
But at the end of that day, you know, we thought about it, we talked, and I worked with the editor in the hotel room, and I said, okay, let's do it like this, and let's add this tag in that's very funny. Mm-hmm. You never know who you'll meet on the BET red carpet. Okay. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay, so I was like, all right, how can we still use this shit? And we decided to use it mainly because Chris Brown got into a fight with Quavo that day or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And Joe's like, oh shit, they think it's him, but they was about war for everybody that day. Like, they was coming for BET. As soon as you get BET award show, everybody want to come out of pocket and do the most. Like, that's how I feel. That's how it's always been, right? They don't do that shit at MTV. They just look like clowns at a Halloween costume and come in and come out.
Dead ass.
But like,
Dead ass.
So,
Black people functions. Come on, man. Come on. Come on.
So we decided as a collective, I brought Nadeska down, I brought Chops down, I brought I brought Act down, and I sat with them and I said, look, this is what the cut looks like. Do we want to do this? Yes or no? And everybody was on board. Mm-hmm. And then we put it out, and then it was like this whole shit with like Complex didn't want it to go out, and there's, you know, all this shit, and my ass might be on the line, and you know, our show went viral after that. There's memes for days. People are saying, do it look like I was left off of Bad and Bougie? You know, like all of these things, like, no, I don't want to do ratchet TV. No, I don't. But this is real life. This is something that happened. And I made it light at the end, and nobody got hurt. And BET red carpet still existed. The tent wasn't broken. So I just wanted to give something authentic. That was like our show. Our show was authentic. Our show was raw. We didn't really cover things up like that, except for when we did the social cuts, and that wasn't until later on.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
You're
You're a good storyteller, I will say. That's a good story.
She's a great peacekeeper too. My gosh.
That too. Well, shit. You answered mad questions. But I do want to talk about, though, so now I guess evolution-wise, and this is more, I guess, about a question for academic. Do you ever worry about him? And the only reason I say that, just because of he's caught in the mix of a lot of just different things between the 6ix9ines and all this other stuff. Like, do you ever just kind of reach out to him like, hey, fam, you just be careful type shit?
I think Joe did that as a big brother when they hung out a lot or talked a lot. I don't know how much they talk now.
Yeah,
I haven't talked to academics since March. Really, okay. I tried to say hi once, but I didn't get a text back. So this is real life. I'm not just trying to sugarcoat. I don't feel rejected or anything. I'm just saying, like, I haven't talked to him.
Yeah.
I love your facial expression. So I don't personally, even as a woman, I don't think academics would listen to, like, when I was with him in person, it was different. I got to have heart to hearts with him and talk to him, and I like who academics is as a person. Like, he's a really good, like, people talk shit about him and all this stuff, but like, I genuinely like him as a person. I think that he like, him and Joe would talk all the time about business and about growth and about, you know, just a lot of things. Yeah. Like, they had like a little brotherhood that they had going on, and Joe would tell him, yo, da 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 da, because he was experienced in that way. For me, sometimes you talk, sometimes you don't. You know your place. I'm not afraid for academics. I think that academics is brave and confident and courageous in even choosing this for a living. Like, once he signed that deal with Complex, he knew what was at stake.
Definitely.
He's a satirical, you know, person. He talks, he comments, he's, you know, and I feel that he's even more comfortable today. I love his tweets today with him talking about Nicki Minaj and how he feels about those things. I think that, like, if there's somebody that I'm scared for, and I'm not really scared for him, but it would be Tekashi. Like, anybody, like, academics is, you know, like when Vic Mensa came, that was all in the same fucking week, by the way. That's when we were in LA. Yeah. That was all the same week. I'm like, yo, what's going on in the world? Like, we definitely need security on that red carpet. But when that happened, it's like Ack is not a tough guy. He's not here popping. He's not saying, well, then punch me in my face then, bitch. You know, like, he's from Jersey, and he went to Rutgers. Like, he's a college boy. Like, he's a nice kid, you know, like, but he also is smart and knows that he needs people to protect him. So you best believe he will have that. Yeah. I don't think shooters are going to come for him. Like, is he that bad? Like, does he popping off at the mouth? Is he talking shit and saying, I'll eat your food? And that's a New York term, by the way. I don't know if young people understand that. But, you know what I mean? Like, that, you know.
I don't know. I guess when you look at it, you see all of the people that get affected when you get in the mud, I'll say. And then not having that background and not knowing how to maneuver, you know, those questions come up. It's like, I hope that, you know, he's just maneuvering the right way.
Not everybody can be Angie Martinez.
True.
And I say that to say she is immune. She's been around. She's a vet. She's been around for so long. I grew up listening to her, and I love her. She's the one that can have anybody in her room and talk to her about anything, and she's straight. Yeah. It seems as if nowadays, like Peter Rosenberg, for example, or, you know, like all of these personalities that anybody in the entertainment industry can get it because everybody's beefing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's big on loyalty. Like, in real life, If you have a girlfriend or a wife and she's talking to your enemy, you're not feeling that.
Yeah.
And the thing that's so jaded with entertainment is like, one day I'm a fake friend to you because, like, this girl, Nikki, just went to, Kim went to her album thing and now she's talking shit about Travis Scott and Kylie.
Yeah.
Like, for where I'm from, we don't do those things.
Yeah.
And guess who's never fucking talking to you again? And guess who's not promoting your album on my social media? And guess who's telling you you can kick rocks now too?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand why people want to be fake in the entertainment industry. But the fact of the matter is that a lot of people do have to be fake, because you have a person like Peter Rosenberg who was, trying to be PC and cool with everybody, but it's like he's getting slack for that.
Yeah.
It's like, when are you like wrong? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Either you're going to take a side or you're not going to take a side.
Yeah.
And either way, you looked at as a herb.
That's true.
You know
That's
what I
true
mean?
when you think
So-
about it. Well, I mean, a good segue point. I guess we can get into Nikki a little bit on your thoughts on that. What do you think? I want to know your idea of this morphed Nikki that we have now from start to finish, and then also
And even from a content standpoint.
just from a
too.
content standpoint, like, do you think it's gonna work between Queen Radio, between these animated videos that she's releasing, these rants? What do you think about it?
Okay. I think we lived in a dumbed down community. I think that's what propaganda, that's what programming and conditioning is all about. And I think that if anything, more than ever, we're living in a fucking circus when it comes to the entertainment industry. And the VMAs was a perfect example of that when I was looking at everybody's motherfucking outfit. Because I thought it was a Halloween, a Halloween event. I'm like, and when you think about it, and I'm gonna get into this Nikki thing too, but just just history here, right? When the VMA started, you had a couple of people wearing outlandish things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You had Lil' Kim with that ugly ass purple outfit on with her nipple cover, and Diana Ross like slaps her titty, and it's funny and it's
Yeah.
outstanding, right? And we gave Lil' Kim all this attention for it, and now it's like everybody has to be outlandish and ugly looking with they fucking dumbass outfit. That's not high fashion. Like, you wearing Madonna cone titties with a devil outfit or whatever outfit you trying to rock, looking like you about to fuck somebody for money, or they trying to pay you for it. Like, it's
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
It's like the thing about fame, period. And let me get back to your question about like Nicki Minaj and what word did you use? You used a word. You said it's something about changing. Like
Morphing. Yeah.
Morphing. She hasn't morphed one bit. And she's tried to, and it didn't work. So when you think about it, right? Fame, artistry. She's been out for a little while now, right? Almost, 10 years?
10 years.
And I think for a lot of famous people and artists in particular, they start to become a little afraid, right? LL Cool J did 10 years, and we're like, oh, legend.
Yeah.
That's when you become a legend of sorts, right?
Yeah.
When you've been, when you're past that 10-year mark, and
Yeah.
you're like killing it.
Definitely.
And for women in particular, women who are in the game, right? It was always like, we did have some women back in the day. We had Rod Digger, we had Missy Elliott, we had Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, and a lot of times because of the way the culture was before with Roxanne and all of that, it was a lot of like competition, but that was like sport and fun. Like we did it with dancing in the 80s, right? It's like you did like the Beat It, the Beat It music video. It was like, this is how we spar, this is how we wore. The bebop, like if you want to go back to the original way of hip hop, like all the the b-boys and the dance competitions that they would have, and so we brought that into rap. And I think as a woman, her being this new pinnacle of a new face, and like Remy being in prison, and it's like she felt like she was the only one.
Yeah.
And then her life got a little fuzzy in real life. I think about people's real lives. I don't fucking fall for the facade of
Word.
what you want and how people look at you.
Yeah.
Like, her brother, I didn't know what her brother did. And when I read what her brother did, I was fucking horrified.
Yeah.
And I did not like that. And I thought that was horrible. And for a person to even back that shit, I don't like that. So I'm looking at you as a person now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you cannot love your brother unconditionally.
Yeah.
But don't fucking praise him and do all of these weird things. So I think that and then her childhood relationship when she didn't have shit fell apart because now she's like, I'm successful and I'm this and I'm that and I don't need your ass anymore. It's a rap. And he says I was abused. I was mentally abused. I was verbally abused. I was physically abused. We can obviously see that she's somebody that, you know, I'm from Queens. She's from Queens. If your ego is so big and you think you're so important, that shit's going to eat you alive. And there was a point of time, like, she had a whole bunch of gimmicks, right? Yeah. It was, I'm Barbie, and I'm this and this and this, and I'm the... I did not like that, by the way. I really didn't. Her monster verse was cool.
On your face.
Her monster verse was cool, like, but I'm not into all that. Like, I grew up off of, like, real rhyming. Like, I grew up off of Lauryn Hill, Rod Digger, like, Lady Luck, like, all of these people, like, Rampage, you know, like... I grew up off, my name is Lyric. I love lyrics, period. Like, what are you saying to me that can resonate to make me better or to make me bop? Like, we all fall for the okie doke when we listen to that trash shit. You know, like all this downstairs, like programming. We love it because the beat is good and it's just catchy, but we know how to like separate ourselves personally from it. Yeah. But like, if you really don't have nothing to say ever, like, I like truffle butter a lot, but that's also because there's Lil Wayne and Drake on it. You know what I mean? And that's like my go-to workout shit. But like, and I like some of her old shit, like Bees in the Trap. I really like.
Yeah, Bees in the Trap is hard.
You know, like that was fun because it was like that old school flow. You know, I've been did that. Yeah, I've been popped off. You know, like it was. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I think that her fear of not being important is destroying her. Yeah. That I need to have a radio station now because everybody's doing it. I need to do this now and I need to be like this person and I need to be like that. But I'm the best person and I originated it and I am. And no, Cardi isn't better than me. Oh, but me and Cardi are friends because she's winning, so I have to be nice to her. Yeah. And I have to be nice to everybody, except I'm also shiesty on the low because we've also had interviews with like K. Michelle for Everyday Struggle and she came on crying. When she talked about it, she's like, I don't understand why, like, being a woman is hard. And I say that because, you know, from our society, from the patriarchal shit, and then trying to, like, be good to each other. A lot of women aren't good to each other because they feel like they competing too. It's fucking ridiculous. And the fact that Cardi did so well, I think really fucking, like, she was like, I'm on a social media hiatus. I'm not posting anything. And then for me, I don't know if this is real or not because Nikki's not my friend, but I felt like she is going through something personally. Anytime you're quiet on social media, something's going on, right? Yeah. So it's like, all right, well, let me darken myself so people could want to see me. And then let me come out. Now I'm out. And now this and that. And yada, yada, yada. And I think that this whole tyrannical shit that she had to push her album again, right? She pushed her album again. I'm sure that didn't feel good. Yeah. But I also believe in karma. And what she did with K. Michelle, I didn't finish that, was K. Michelle had talked about, and other people have stories too that I've heard behind the scenes where she's done shiesty shit to people to get her way and like took K. Michelle's song title and made it her album title. So K. Michelle, like all of that shit will come to bite you in the ass. I love Alicia Keys. Sometimes I'm like, why is Alicia hanging out with this broad? Yeah. Like y'all don't resonate. You like sunflowers, she likes dick.
Which
like,
I really thought that was a weird combination. Anytime you see it, it's just weird. It's weird.
See, I'm not bugging, right?
No.
And that's the thing about industry shit. Is like, I'm sorry, y'all laughing at me. You know, it's like industry shit is like, you know, this is why Drake makes that fake love straight up to my face. He can't even be collaborative with people like Kanye. Kanye is giving information to Pusha about him. And it's like people are so shiesty. And loyalty means everything. And Nicki is just scared out of her wits. I really... Not only is she popping pills or doing whatever kind of drugs to give her this motivation, and do I think it's going to fade? No. Because we live in a downstairs...
you think it's going to heighten?
No. I think it's going to stay the same. I think that it's obvious it's going to stay the same because her album sales didn't do as well as she wanted them to do.
I'm rolling.
Yeah. And because her streams didn't do as well as she wanted to do. So now she's out of her wits even more. So she's going to put a 3-hour motherfucking Queen Radio, Queen, MTV ain't shit. That fucking award ain't valid. No moonwalker, no. You bitch, you did not get a Grammy. And you have to keep in mind that this is why she's acting out. Because she is afraid.
Now, I have a serious question. It's kind of a two-part question. So, one, do you feel like a reality TV show has ruined media to a certain extent? And then two, do you think that because people have seen the success of people like Joe and It's the Real and The Read when it comes to podcasts, you think now that people are trying to utilize podcasts as like a saving grace, as something like, I need to save my image, or I need to be, hip or pop? Because even though she has Queen Radio, I look at that as a podcast. I don't really look at that as traditional radio, what is going on. So,
She's not spinning records.
no, I mean, she spins her own.
She spins her own records.
But she spent her own. she put. But I feel like when she puts her own records, sometimes I feel like that was kind of like when maybe the Apple execs came in. She said, "Let me put the music on." But as someone who's done reality TV show from a production standpoint, like, have you seen reality TV show and even production? I know. But do you feel like reality TV show or even podcasts, even though it's had a positive effect in certain circumstances, it's kind of changed the game in a negative way for those who aren't really about that content or really about making podcasts? They're just using it as like a safety net for an image or, to hype shit up or something like that.
Unfortunately, folks, anybody will use. I mean, we're in the day and age where TV isn't even relevant anymore. And so let's separate reality TV, right? Like, reality TV is big. What reality TV? Mm-hmm. That's one question, but you don't have to answer that. We'll get into I understand the heart of your question.
Okay.
And I was growing up in a time when I was graduating and trying to become a professional where the music industry at that time was changing. iPods,
Mm-hmm.
they were getting popular when I was in college, and I didn't have one yet. Like, they had like the fake little MP3 players. Like now our digital stuff was changing.
She's killing me with these chairs.
Did she just put them up too? Oh man, but sorry, continue.
Sorry.
We got it.
It's okay.
Heavy hands over there.
I'm really trying.
The camera.
Yeah, I'm really trying.
So should we cut?
No. We rolling. We rolling. It's all right.
Fuck it.
All right, cool. So no, just leave her. She's almost done. It'll be quick. Hold for sound. So basically, it was changing, and I remember I actually applied to NYU. To get my master's in the music business. Because I was like, well, that can help me. It's all about your resources, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't get in, thankfully, because I don't have as much debt as I could have had.
Yeah.
But and I made it regardless. So you hear that, folks? You don't always need to continue your education with an institution. You can do it on your own.
Yeah. Google's your best friend.
Word.
But now, I think Instagram, when I had Instagram, it was 2011, and it was all about photography. It was I fucking loved Instagram and what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really, it's so sad to me every day I think about it. And so you have Instagram and you have Twitter, right? I remember when Twitter came out in 2009. Everybody was
shit.
When I was in college, Facebook came out. It was only for college people, and I emailed you an invite to the Facebook, and I'm like, no thanks. But then my boyfriend at the time got on that bitch, and you best believe I fucking signed up for that shit. Because I need to know what you think you doing. Who you talking to. So that's how I got into social media, guys.
Oh man, to stalk your boyfriend in typical.
That shit tells on everybody. Don't be putting no heart eye emojis. My man knows. I'm like, who's this big booty bitch? Don't follow her. I let him have a couple, but for the most part, I don't need who you following now. What's this bitch? Yeah, he loves me because he deals with it. But it's important to me. Programming and what you looking at and feeding yourself with all this nasty shit. It's like Penthouse, yo. We used to order them shits, and them shits used to come in the mail with a black fucking plastic on that shit. And now you go on fucking Twitter. My 11-year-old nephew who's looking at YouTube can see a girl playing with her vagina if he wants to.
Yeah.
It's crazy out here. And the prostitution is real. You have these little Twitter thoughts talking about cash at me some money.
Yo.
And it's wild.
That Cash App shit is retarded. retarded
what's happening
to
to
me.
our women? What's happening to our people? Like, you gotta, like, I don't have kids yet. Maybe if I lived in the Midwest, I would. You know what I mean? But like, this mentality. But let me go back. So let me go back. So we have these channels now.
Yeah.
Instagram has changed. Twitter has changed. We used to be able to like join a fan mail. You had to subscribe and pay to read a blog that Alicia Keys was posting about on her journey.
Yeah.
That came apart with it used to be more organized. Now everything is independent. Now you have quote unquote SoundCloud rappers. Now you have people who everything is independent. So I can do whatever the fuck I want, right?
Yeah.
And that's what gives us like this liberation and this freedom, but also at the same time this detriment. Everything has its own shit sandwich.
Yeah.
So regardless of a podcast, because not everybody's gonna listen to it, right? But if you are somebody and you already have people who idolize you, and you have to really be careful of that, folks. You don't need to be idolizing everybody out here. Not everybody is that important. Being on television doesn't make you a fucking god. It doesn't. Having a stylist who dresses people and putting makeup on your face and doing your hair does not make you an amazing fucking god. It doesn't. And you have to really be mindful with that and watch that, because that's what people... This has been this way for years, right? We always idolize. We always want to be somebody else, or we always want to feel important. It's like high school, but in the fame realm. Everybody wants to be the most popular, and that's what Nicki's doing. I'm the most popular. So what we're seeing here is people who have their own channel.
Yeah.
Their own Instagram live that's being recorded somewhere. Somebody can record that. Somebody can, all of this technology that was used and created to spy on us, and somehow we've kind of turned it against the powers that be, and like, oh no, you want to beat that black kid up, right? Right, police officer? Now we got you, and we're gonna send this through the ACLU app too. So it's like, it's good and it's bad. But the only reason why it's effective is just because if you say that somebody is important and they have 90 million people who, let's keep it real, not everybody is a real person, and you have mostly men that's looking at your ass, which is why they're not buying your music, because I don't have to buy your music if you're giving me a penthouse spread. Let's keep it real, right? If all you're doing is putting your ad, like, come on, like, I'm very mindful about what I post on my Instagram, because I get programmed and conditioned too. And I'm like, if my man likes this picture, that means that I need to be, I'm over here, I'm not gonna lie, I work on my model faces because I never did that before. But it also gives me confidence, and I'm not like overexposing myself and being this little thotty Instagram. Like, I want to be an Instagram model. I'm gonna sell flat tummy tea. So like, it's to the point where regular people who aren't famous, I don't want to say regular people, everybody's a regular person. Famous people who aren't famous are now trying to emulate that.
Yeah.
And they're starting to, like, I can do it too. I'm going to hire a stylist, and I'm going to, and you see that shit. Style by this person, style Fashion Nova. Like, first of all, stop fucking buying that shit, because that shit is like cheapest Bronx on the fucking Avenue, Fordham Road, $10 store shit. I've bought from Fashion Nova, and that was a big mistake. The first time I washed the pants, the fucking stitches was coming out, and ain't nobody talking about it, and it makes me mad. Or like, you get it, and the shit has a rip in it, and it's like, I can't even return this shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's really trash, guys. Fashion Nova is trash. Don't buy from there. Just don't. Okay, you can find cheap clothes that are better quality, but you see that. So back with the celebrities doing things like this, it's a detriment to them. You have Bunk with the white girl that's kissing on his neck, the 15-year-old bad Bobby.
Cash Me Outside.
Cash Me Outside, girl.
And
Bad
even
Barb.
that's also like hurting to me that we really took Atlantic. We really took a girl that was on a talk show, like one of these, I don't give a fuck, boot camp bitches, and made her a rapper.
Well, Atlantic is on a run with that.
Obviously, they have run with that. And now
that.
you have a 20-something-year-old thinking it's cool to like post that on social media. But it's like, sir, did you know that was against the law?
Yeah.
So it's like all of these people are doing, it's a fucking circus. And I hate that we're all addicted to it.
Yeah.
You wake up, what you do? You look at your phone. No, tell your spouse or whoever, good morning.
Yeah.
How you doing? You want some breakfast? Read a fucking book. I love books.
Me too.
I don't
Me
own
too.
a TV because I'm not going to sit here wasting my life surfing through channels and a million networks. We used to have 13 channels on a dial.
Yeah.
Now we have a million and trillion goddamn fucking networks, and I can't, like, how much attention do you want? Like, how much attention can we give?
Yeah.
We need balance. You know?
I agree.
Either you follow the person or you don't. No matter what, you're still going to see their shit. Because if you're following Shade Room or Hollywood Unlocked or one of those, you'll see. You know what I mean? But like, I like Revolt's, social media because they don't post a bunch of clown shit.
It's clean.
Yeah.
They post just real content.
So sometimes I'm careful with who I follow, and I have to know these things because I work in this industry. But at the same time, I just know, again, detachment. I know what to look at, and I know what to not give my energy to.
Yeah.
You know, like it's important. And these people, I'd rather watch them from a logical perspective and I feel bad for the heart in me, the nurturing person in me. Nicki Minaj needs therapy and she needs love. And she obviously doesn't have that because if you had that, you wouldn't be so insecure and asking for love all the time.
Yeah. But isn't that hard for you as someone who's a producer? Like if you're developing a show, or you're trying to develop topics, like especially for when you do Everyday Struggle, you had to look at these things like in order to, develop the program for every single episode. And especially since you guys did it frequently, you had to look at all this quote unquote crazy nonsense all the time. So how are you able to, constantly look at this stuff, but then set that boundary where you're not so attached to it, and then you find your time where you're detached, but you're not too detached because you still got a program to run? Because
I'm not a hype beast. I'm not. I'm a fan of music, of good music. Mind you, when I interned at Bad Boy, though, I'm not going to lie, the only time I ever got nervous with who I met was Puff. Because I didn't know, I was, 22? I was 22 years old, and I was like, do I shake his hand? I probably don't shake his hand. Like, I didn't, and it was in a studio, so, it was interesting, because in the office, he was Mr. Combs, and you did not ride the elevator with him. They would never allow it. And his floor smelled extra special. He has these candles that he really likes, and it smells extra special up there. It's very, it's my first time in a corporate environment.
Yeah.
But then when he's in the studio, he's Puff, and he's somebody else, and it's a little more laid back. And no, I didn't shake his hand. And I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't get rejected or anything. Yeah. But that was the only time I really kind of got nervous, because he's the owner of this thing. Yeah. But for some reason, I guess maybe because I always wanted to be famous, or not famous, like a singer, like a celebrity, you know what I mean? I always thought I would have that. And I looked at things so objectively, and I never fanned out. I just me. I was never one of those little girls that was hot for boys. You had some of those girls and he's cute and he's cute and he's hot and he's hot. I was just not I'm picky as fuck about everything and everybody and who I hang out with and what I do. You know what I mean? So I think because of that, when I'm around, and then you work in the industry, so you can't be doing that shit. I remember working on Ace of Cakes, that old food show.
That shit is old as hell. He's showing your age. I ain't gonna lie.
Look, I'm an executive producer now, for a reason. But
she did that right back in your face, Brandon.
She popped the collar.
Practice makes the master, But now my mom was like, have that chef call me. Let Duff call me. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. So I already knew how to conduct myself around things like that. I think the only person I asked for pictures was Noriega and Erykah Badu. Obviously.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
I ain't mad at that.
I'm not like, oh, Safari, take a picture of me. Hey.
Yeah.
I don't stunt on my shit. I never took a picture with Joe until the other day when we were in LA. And what was so funny
was
is
it that group photo?
No, it was just me. I told him, yo, we don't have no pictures together. He's like, that's not true. I said, yes, it is. We never took a picture together. And what was funny and ironic is that him and I were wearing the same
I saw that picture.
outfit.
I was like, yo.
Really?
I did not.
Revolt over there doing some wild shit. He got uniforms and shit.
No, but wait. So I had a white shirt, it was a bodysuit. I wore a white bodysuit, and I had red Guess pants that I haven't fit in since 2012, and I lost some weight. And I'm like, oh shit, I could fit these again. So I wore this white shirt and these red pants, and then I see him, and this motherfucker's wearing some red sweats and a white shirt.
With that fucking hat.
And with the hat, yeah. And then we look, and we're right outside of Revolt Studios. And I look and I'm like, yo, and it matches with this shit. Like, okay, we have to take a picture. Like, we gotta say. So we took a picture, and it was just ironic, and it happened that way. But yeah, I'm not like stunned by, you're a human being. You're not, a celebrity or not, creative or not. Like, I love Drake. I love his music. I love his vulnerability. I like anybody that is open and raw with their lyrics.
Yeah.
I like composition. I like Mac Miller. I like Travis Scott. Like, they have music.
Yeah.
They have horns. They have composition.
Yeah.
And that's something that means more to me than you trying to stunt and say I'm the best. Like, who cares? Like, are you? I'm not listening to your shit.
That's true. That's true. Well, I mean, since that picture, it's something happening with that picture that you can.
So Joe's coming out with a new show.
Okay.
But I'm not allowed to talk about anything.
Lyric, you
But
corny.
it's gonna be so great. It's gonna be great.
Oh, thanks.
And
Where can they find it?
they can find it on Revolt.
There you go.
Yeah, we got
There you go.
something,
We got
bro.
something. We got something. So Revolt, ladies and gentlemen.
It's on my Instagram, so I can say that. But it's going to be amazing. I can say that it's going to be great. We all care about it. Everybody on that team. It's definitely different from the last corporate setting we were in, and it's just going to be great.
Yeah.
That's just gonna be great. It is. It's what we need. We need that.
Yeah.
And granted, Joe has his pull up. He does his one-on-one interviews, and he has his podcast, which is great. But like, I can listen to Joe and talk to Joe all day and like have him in different settings. Like, sometimes I think like I know a lot, or I think my opinion matters, but he always has these extra insider information that I don't have, and I learned something from him, and I'm like, oh my God, no way. Like, so it's like, it's that industry insider stuff and his knowledge and the way he articulates himself and his fucking hilariousness, because he thinks like I think. So I'm, like, imagine if somebody agrees with every fucking thing you say, and you're like, yes, you're my best friend ever. Like, just keep saying that. Like, that's something that I'm so happy for him.
Yeah.
And who he's become and who we've been able to see, because maybe he was the same person the whole time, but we all change, and we get better if we want to. But I'm very happy for him, and I'm so excited to get things started soon.
Yeah, we definitely understand when you said, like, when you meet someone, you're like, yes, like Brand and I had that.
That's
like,
how it was with us.
when
We
we
just
did-
naturally clicked.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Crazy.
did you just become my best friend?
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly literally what happened when we went to get our executive MBA. Like,
Deadass.
shit was crazy.
Deadass. This has been phenomenal. We're really, really happy for you, especially to see your ascension.
you.
I didn't know a lot. I knew that you were a poet. I did know that.
Did you?
But, yeah, I did.
How you knew
I did
that?
know that. I won't tell you how. It's insider information. I can't share that with you. But I really am happy to get that tidbit of just how you kind of ascended. That was really, really interesting. I didn't know that you worked on those many projects, and
Oh
so
my God.
you're seasoned. I don't even look at you as like a rookie anymore. You're up there with them.
You thought I was a rookie?
Yeah, but I thought you were one of
He's
the.
being honest, at
He
least.
said, I wanted to bring a rookie to my show. We're so glad to have you, rookie.
No, when I mean rookie in the sense of like you were one of the people I felt like that was just doing different shit, like that just was just new, like not rookie in the sense of your professionalism. I'm saying the shit that you're doing was just like different. You can see it was different, and I think in the new realm I looked at it as being a rookie because you started to change the tide of how content was being created. You started to change the tide of how we look and dissect music. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I'll tell you, it was definitely not all me. And it was definitely a lot of Joe and a team effort. Like, it makes a team. It takes a village.
It definitely takes a village.
It takes
I
a
believe in
village
that.
to raise a person.
That's a great book, by the way, too.
It takes a village to do this. Look how many people's in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all about family.
Definitely.
Yes, we agree.
And if it wasn't for family, I can't take all the credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
But we were all, when you're all aligned, that's when magic happens.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? So I'm excited to get even more. Like, there's a new family now, and there's a new team, and there's going to be amazing things. And that when we're all aligned and we're all, getting the things that we want, and that's when things are incredible. You gotta care about each other. You gotta be considerate. You can't fall for all this stupidity that you watch. Turn the fucking phone off for a second. Put that shit down. Don't fall for it.
Yeah.
These people, they don't have love. It's hard. Can you imagine being extremely fucking rich and everybody knowing that and everybody wanting to be your friend?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Like, no fucking thank you. Like,
I say that all the time. I wouldn't want to be like Drake famous.
Absolutely
You know
not.
how
It's
lonely
difficult.
that's got to be?
Yeah, he talks about it in his music.
Yeah. Like, you wonder why. Like, even Nicki, you think about it. Like, and it's like you don't know what's real, what's
It's
fake.
all
There's
fans,
so
they all
much.
fear her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
It's
likes
just,
that fear. That's she in her own right. She feels like a queen.
Yeah.
Like I heard that when she was on TRL, she said, "Oh, we gonna do a music video," and all of her crew was like, "Oh shit, what are we gonna do?" I like, come on, like you gonna shoot them? You know all about securing locations and like having concepts and having crew.
Yeah.
Like again, it takes a village. Like
Yes.
there's everybody. Like not only do I see the shot looking this way, but I need you to be able to help me get that shot.
Yeah.
And what frame rate do we use if we want that? What kind of equipment, what kind of camera, what kind of lens? Like what do we need in order to make that happen? So it's definitely a group effort, and I'm really glad and I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I had with Complex and just learning that whole environment and understanding that and growing apart from it and moving on from there. And I take the good out of everything.
Definitely.
And if I
course.
never got hired there, whether it ended up being a good experience or a bad experience, I got to meet Joe, and Joe is the reason why I'm working with him today. And I was sad because I'm like, I still want to talk about hip hop. I still want to, like I was talking to Spotify out in LA. I was talking to All Def Digital. I was talking to Billboard. They almost gave me a job, and I turned it down because Joe and his manager Ian was like, "Lyric, we need you, and I'm like, how the fuck can I say no? Like,
Yeah.
So now I'm here, bi-coastal, which is the dream for most people.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that the universe spoke to me after I spoke to it, and it's giving me everything that I could have dreamed of and more. And I want to contribute making successful content and being able to be honest and authentic and saying things that people don't want to say.
Yeah.
And setting, like, for all of this distraction, we need somebody to say, let's not be too distracted with that. And here's why.
Yeah.
Here's what's really
Yeah.
going on. Like, you can either, if you're young and you're influenced by this stuff, you can see, oh, ego this and ego that. And me too. Like, there's people who are in the sunken place. The real fucking sunken place. And
Facts.
they don't know how, somebody, not even the flashes, just encourage it.
Yeah.
It don't. I wish you could. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish you could just snap somebody and then, it goes away. But for all the young people that are loving hip hop today, and hip hop has changed so much too. There's genres in hip hop now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
And I like some of the new shit, not all of the new shit. Some of the new shit I like, but I also like people to say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to lose that. And I think that because we're like independent people, that we should be making our own shit, our own music, and our own vibes, and find a way to make that attractive. Like, let's promote Rhapsody a little bit more. Like, I remember meeting her. She was amazing. She was so
sweetheart.
sweet.
Sweetheart.
And she's a great lyricist. It's like, but you get distracted by titties, vaginas, and fake asses every day.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
But she had quite a year though.
Yeah,
she had quite a year. I was so happy for her.
I still don't feel like she got her just due.
Oh yeah, no,
honestly, when you
but
think
she
about it.
definitely
But her
like
year was pretty
her
good.
year was solid, especially for someone who, like you said, isn't out there like showing herself in a promiscuous way. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. What would be? I guess this is my last question for me. You may have another one, but my last question would be: what would be your advice for women who are interested in getting into not just the producer role or production role within content, but someone who's just interested in getting into the creative / business side? Because although you are a producer, I like to say that you are essentially a creative strategist. You solve problems and you create. So what is your suggestion, especially for women to get into this field, or just even people in general? I'm sure a lot of people who are going to be watching this are going to be possibly interested in taking this career route.
So my first pieces of advice to most people, whose phone is going on?
I don't know.
It's okay, we can ignore it. So my first piece of advice is find out why you want to work in the industry. Anytime somebody, your first interview ever, they will ask you why. It's my interview with Bad Boy. The guy was telling me, and I'm good friends with him to this day. He's like, you know, this is not all glitter and glam, you know, and roses. And I was like, okay. Like, I genuinely, I wasn't the type of person that wanted to be, like, I wanted this job because I want to be around famous people. You got to find out if your intention is pure or not. Because if it's not, you're going to eventually, like, diminish or be somebody's lackey. That's another old term. But, a peon, okay?
A peon.
A peon. You're going to be someone's minion, and you might get chewed up and spit out, or you might be successful. If you're really good at kissing ass, I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
But let your intention be pure. Why do you ask yourself, why do I want to be in the entertainment industry? Why do I want to create? What do I want to create? What am I passionate about? And once you know what you're passionate about, that's when most of the time you'll get an opportunity. You have to tell somebody what you want to do. That's the only way to move up in the industry, period, is I want to do this, right? You work in the industry, like there's always a thought before something produces, right? And then you get all that experience of doing logistical work, like paperwork and legal work. You should be well rounded. If you want to be a business owner, or if you want to own a production company, or a label or anything, then you need to know your business. Like you need to know the legalities of what you want from people. So if you know that you want people to travel, for example, you need to make sure there's per diem involved in that talent agreement. You need to make sure that that you're talking about and that you can use their likeness and merchandise, if that, you know, like you have to make sure your negotiations are set. You have to make sure you handle yourself respectfully, well, learn how to write a motherfucking email, learn how to read them too. Don't just reply quickly. Like there's just certain things that you want to be able to do and prep yourself for if you want to be in this business. Yeah. And the more you know, take one thing at a time. Usually if you want to be in like TV or video or whatever, you want to be a production assistant first, because that is like what we call the bottom of the totem pole. That's like usually the first job that you get into. And there, and I'll help everybody out that's listening, from there you figure out what is it that I want to do, because you don't want to be a production assistant. Your job is very important as a PA, but what do you want to do? You can be an art director. You can be a prop master. You can be a stylist, wardrobe, costume designer. You can be a camera person. You can be a grip or an electric. Grip, by the way, folks, grip and electric. Grips are the ones that create the stands and do all the hard work putting things together, while the gaffer therefore goes ahead and fix the lighting and, you know, puts the gels up. And you can do anything in these fields. So what is it that you want to do? Yeah. Look at the rates for these people, figure out what you want to do. Is freelancing something that you want to do, or do you want to be the one that's afraid and think that everything is stable and work a fucking 9 to 5? I'll tell you what, I'm so glad I don't ever have to do that. Like it's a very refreshing thing. I don't have to be a part of the norm of like the construct of go to school, do this, and then that's fine. Because that it leads for a very like unsatisfied, unfulfilled life, unless you really like your job. You know what I mean? But if you want to work in entertainment, your intention, what is it? Your passion, what is it? What do you want to make? And then figure out what set you're going to be on. If you I have a friend who I actually helped out and got her a job. And I asked her, I said, she was in Duane Reade. She worked in the Rockefeller Center, Duane Reade. And she goes, oh my God, you look like Adrienne Bailon. And like, you know, like she was so sweet to me, and I'm a good person at heart. So I was like, that's really kind of you, like, you know, whatever. And then we talked, and I was like, yeah, I work on Everyday Struggle upstairs. And she's like, no way, I watched that show, and da-da-da-da, can I help you? Then all of a sudden, like, we kept in touch. I took her information. I never got her on Everyday Struggle. You know, I'm careful in the beginning, you know? Yeah. But then I started seeing that, like, she was working on TRL, and I was like, well, how'd you do that, young lady? And she was just like, yo, I called MTV. And after I read an article, and I didn't stop calling until I finally got through to the head of programming. Shit. And then I got an interview, and her passion, and she, not only did she get that job, and all she wanted to do was volunteer, and they were like, we don't have that position. We're only looking for PAs. And she's like, oh my God, I have a title? Like, you know, like she's so humble and so genuine and so professional. And she's like, what do you need me to do? Can I help you? And she also got into like the NBC program as well, and they
That's
ask you
Wow.
questions. They say, "Why do you want to be here? Why do you want to do this?" Because the last thing any fucking producer needs is for somebody to run around and want to snap a picture.
Yeah.
Do not ask celebrities for pictures. Don't fucking do it. I don't like when people do that. Don't do it. You're here to work.
Yep.
Definitely.
Like be happy in it. I'm in it. People think it's fancy. Just because someone puts a camera on you and streams it or airs it somewhere doesn't mean it's the most amazing thing ever. Like, it's all real life, folks. It's all
Agreed.
real life.
Agreed.
So if you want to work in entertainment, make sure you want to work in entertainment and then make it happen.
That was dope, man. That was really dope. Thank you for coming on,
Yeah.
Lyric.
Thank you for having
We
me.
really appreciate you.
I was a little nervous at first. I was like, oh shit, we're rolling. I hope I don't stutter.
We do all that shit. Definitely, yeah. Well, I know you're not really. Do you want to give your social media? We would like
Sure.
to.
I mean, I'm not. That's not my phone. My phone hasn't been ringing at
Oh,
all.
this is mine. I don't. It's
Airplane mode.
It's
Airplane
the
mode.
group chat.
Yeah, so my social is Lyrics Poetic, and it never changes. That's my Instagram name that I've had since it was born.
Yeah.
It's on that on Twitter too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't OD. I post regular stuff, and yeah.
Well, it's a chance where people have questions. They
Yeah,
can contact you that way.
Yeah,
contact
and
you.
some people do. The people who are fans of Joe and are fans of the show, or like, there's some people that know me, and I'm like impressed. And some people really care about what I hope you guys enjoy it. If you're listening, I read your DMs that you try to slide in. I might not always approve them, but sometimes I do if I feel like their messages are decent enough, where it's like genuine, like I feel
Yeah.
it out, and then I might say, I give advice here and there to some people. I can't do it all day.
Yeah.
But
I feel you.
but this was a lot of advice. So for everybody,
Yeah, this is going to be
that-
super helpful.
Yeah.
I think this is really, really helpful. But yeah, for everyone, any questions, slide into Lyrics DMs.
Lyrics Poetic.
Once again, I'm Brandon Killabh Hall.
Wait, you're cutting it mad quick, son.
What you mean?
We gotta tell them. Be sure to subscribe and follow.
I
you're
did
just
forget.
like
I
wrap
did
it up.
forget.
All right, well.
We'll wrap it up then.
My name is Erin Ashley Simon, but before we actually end, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that notification button if you want to hear from dope people like Lyric. We're going to get more dope guests on, from whether they're known, unknown. We just want to bring people that provide interesting stories and feedback. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, Grassroots Pod. What is this going to next Tuesday? Oh, get t-shirts.
Yeah.
Also, check out, we're going to have some clips from our fan get-together, which we
Definitely,
are...
yeah,
it
that's-
already passed, but you're going to see some clips from that. It's going to be really dope and fun. And also, feel free to let us know what kind of guests you want. We love to have guests who are also behind the scenes, who can provide a different perspective. So let us know if you want to learn from someone in the industry. More than likely, either we're friends with someone or we're friends with someone who's friends with someone, and then we can get them on. And it's a great way for you guys to not only be entertained, but also to be well informed, because that's really important.
Definitely.
Especially as someone, I'm young, I'm 26, so I was fortunate enough to have someone who is as veteran as you are guide me through it. And not everyone has that, so
Yeah.
we want to provide that for you guys.
Definitely.
So back to you, Brandon.
You can wrap it up then.
Well, let's be real, guys. We love you.
There you go.
Subscribe. Follow.
Yeah, subscribe. Again, for the last time, I'm Brandon Killabh Hall.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon, our fine guest.
Lyrics.
And we out.
Hey.
Grassroots.